Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with CircWorks, and this is Beyond 100 Days of Making Comics, where I pick up where I left off on my 100 Days of Making Comics journey. And what that is, if you're not familiar with 100 Days of Making Comics, and I know I've got some new followers. I'm doing a kind of a new series of videos based on drawing Miscrits, which are creatures that I used to create for a game company I used to work for. And so I'm kind of doing a little cross promotion. So I may have a few new fans that may not be familiar exactly what this is. And just the fact that you're checking this out, thank you. This is cool because this isn't a Miscrit thing. This is something that I do on my own. But so I usually give a little introduction, and sometimes it gets a little repetitive, but I'm going to continue to do that because every video could be somebody's first videos. They say that in comic books. When you're drawing a comic, every comic is somebody's first comic. So it helps, at least the old way of thinking back when I was growing up, it helps to kind of at least somewhat, find a way to kind of reintroduce the characters so people kind of know what's going on and everything. So anyway, 100 Days of Making Comics is something that started off by an artist named Kevin Cross, and it was just a way. He has a very busy work schedule, and he wants to find time to do his comics. So he said, I'm going to set aside 30 minutes every day to work on my own personal comic book project. And that's what he's done. And he did it once, he did it twice, and now he's almost done with his third round of doing this. I've taken a little different route. Well, yeah, kind of. So I did finish my 100 Days of Making Comics, but the goal necessarily isn't to finish your comic book in that amount of time, but to make progress. So at the end of the 100 days, still not finished with my comic, but what I'm doing now is I'm trying to put the same amount of time in, only doing weekly updates instead of daily updates. And that's part of the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge, is that you vlog about it every day, hopefully every day. You don't have to technically do it every day, but I think it helps, and I would recommend anyone that's going to do this to do your vlog, your update, kind of check in once a day and do that. So anyway, I finished now. I'm getting close to actually finishing my comic book, and it seems like I'm so close, but it seems like I don't want to say things are slowing down, but because I'm still trying to put in those equivalent of 30 minutes a day, whether I work one day for, I put 2 or 3 hours in one day or whatever, but I'm still trying to put the equivalent of those 30 minutes a day. The only thing is I'm almost I wish I could just power through it and get more than those 30 minutes a day in and just get this thing done. But there's so much other stuff going on, and that's something I've been dealing with. But I think, and I was really behind this week and that's one of the other good things about doing, putting in those 30 minutes a day, because rather than just trying to find, 2 hours one day or whatever, but if you keep yourself to a schedule, you're more likely to get it done. But this week I was way behind, but it's just in the matter of yesterday and today kind of catching up and putting in that time. So I guess I should talk about what the comic book is for all you new people that might not know. I write and illustrate a comic called Young and the Dead. It's kind of like Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead. It's kids versus zombies. It takes place in the 80s, and it's a throwback to 80s kid-centric adventure films like Goonies, like Explorers, like E.T., sort of somewhat Stand By Me, even though that's kind of a little more mature audience, I would say. But, it's still got the fun kid characters and everything. But it's basically kids fighting zombies, and it's a fun story. I've got 2 issues available right now. You can get them at my online store. I've got 2 different versions. I've got the standard edition that look like this. Kind of your standard comic book, format, black and white, shaded interior, which is what I'm working on right now on the 3rd issue, is doing all the shading and everything. And then the next step is to do the lettering and then color the cover, and then hopefully it'll be done. I've got some conventions coming up, and I'd like to have those for those conventions. Maybe not the first one I'm doing, but definitely I've got one in November, and I want to get this done by then. So hopefully. But anyway, so if that sounds intriguing to you, you can check those out. Hopefully, you know, there's still so much more I want to do. I want to run it as a web comic. I want to have, you know, digital comics available. For right now, it's just the print copies. And one of the reasons I'm not really promoting the other stuff is these, I'm just using these as benchmarks to get the project done. So for instance, if I was going to say, oh, I'm going to create a graphic novel, the amount of time it would take to start it and complete it, I mean, I would, if I don't set these benchmarks, as in like an issue here, an issue there, I don't think I ever, the task is just too monumental for me. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm not really promoting these so much. I mean, they're available, and you can check them out. I just don't want, I don't want people to get in the habit of, oh, when the next issue is going to be out. So I don't promote it as much, because it takes a while to do this, especially when it's just kind of a passion project, something that you work on your spare time and everything. So the ultimate goal is to get the trade, finish the graphic novel, collect all the comics together, and then I'm really going to start promoting it. Who knows how long that's going to be, because it does take a long time. If you've ever created comics, and believe me, it is a labor of love, and it's emphasis on the labor. So anyway, so that's the comic. That's what I'm doing. Oh, and shoot, you know what? I didn't think about this when I was, usually what I try to do, I'm going to move over to this side a little bit. What I try to do is I try to show some of the process of me working on a little window here. I wasn't thinking about that when I turned the camera on, so I'm probably covered up most of it. Maybe I'll try to make the window a little smaller this time. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If there doesn't happen to be a window up there, it's just because I didn't have the forethought to kind of stay on this side and let that happen. But so a lot of cool things going on, starting to grow the channel. I think I am, like I said, I'm doing this cross promotion with Miscrimania, which is a Miscrits fan site. We're trying to develop kind of a mascot for them, and hopefully we can get. Hopefully, we'd like to get in the game too. So we'll have to see if that's a possibility and everything. But I think it's a pretty good possibility. Nothing's etched in stone, but that's kind of what we're shooting for. So we're going to try to create a character that they can use for their website, kind of as a mascot, and we'll see if we can get into the game. But anyway, so I'll have a series of those videos. I just did an introduction, and then next week I'll have starting actually designing that creature. So that's coming up. I also started a new series of videos that I'm doing with Kevin Cross and Jeff Lafferty, and it's called the Artcasters. We try to pick a topic, something usually the business of comics, or not comics. Jeff doesn't really. Jeff has actually. I think Jeff's probably the only one who has done comics. Well, I don't know. I guess maybe Kevin has too, but Jeff has done comics in the past. But nowadays he's mostly does just awesome, you know, poster like movie poster style art, and I mean just unbelievable stuff. But anyway, currently I guess Kevin and I are the ones that are working on comics. So it's not just about comics, although we might branch into that from time to time. But just the kind of just what we do as illustrators and how we get by and how we promote ourselves, and just a number of different topics. So that's called the Artcasters. And the way this show works is it's going to kind of rotate through our 3 channels. So I will leave a link to, I'm going to try to leave a link to all these things. I'll leave a link to the Miscrimania, to my comic book, and to Jeff Lafferty's site and Kevin Cross's site. But I'll have a play list on my site, I think, for the Artcasters. But we're going to each take turns hosting it on our own respective sites. So yeah, if you're interested in kind of the sort of the business and what it takes to be an illustrator, it might be of interest to you. So you can check that out. Let's see. So tomorrow I will be uploading another Fan Art Friday video. I finished my Kiss series, so that's kind of, some people love it. Some people are waiting for me to move on from that, because you know not everyone's a Kiss fan. But I had fun doing it, and I did actually. I sold all the Kiss drawings, so that was cool. And so there's definitely Kiss fans out there who are interested in that. Yeah, so I'm going to be uploading another Fan Art Friday video tomorrow. So this video is like, I mean, this week I've got 3 videos going up. I've got another one that's already drawn. It's just Sketch Time. And what Sketch Time is, it's kind of like Fan Art Friday, but it's not fan art. It's my own original ideas and things like that. So I've got one of those that I've got to narrate and hopefully put that up. But I don't know when, because I mean, yeah, it's getting right now. It's getting kind of hectic with the new kind of Miscrit series that I'm doing, with the Artcasters thing, with the update, with the Fan Art Friday, with this update here, the Beyond 100 Days. So this week I've got, this will be like the fourth video that I'm involved with. So I don't know when I'll throw that other one in, because I mean, it takes time to do all this stuff. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on. Again, it's kind of hectic, but I'm getting things done. I'm getting closer to getting the comic book done and everything. Yeah, if you're interested in knowing more about what this comic book is, or if you have any questions like that, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section. I usually try to get back to everyone. I guess stay tuned tomorrow when I'll be doing another Fan Art Friday. And of course, not everyone is watching these real time, so there's a lot of other stuff on the channel you can check out. I've got tons of fan art videos. I've got the sketch time videos. I've got series of mad props, which I'll probably be doing. I don't want to say for certain, but I'll probably be doing more of those. Actually, I've got one that's kind of halfway done. I don't know if I'll put that one up or not. But what Mad Props is, I do a lot of prop building and things like that. And Halloween's coming up, so I'm guessing I'll probably be doing some more kind of Halloween props for that. So maybe I'll film some of those and put those up there. Also, I've got a series of videos which I think there's 5 videos in the series, and hopefully I'll get back to it and doing more as I start doing more conventions. But if you're ever interested in doing like comic conventions or pop culture conventions, I'm getting all crazy tongue-tied right here. But there's a series that I did called Pro versus Con, which is basically how the pros approach doing comic conventions, and there's a lot of really good tips in there. So if you're interested in that, check that out. I think there's playlists on my channel for all these things. So a lot of cool content. Check it out. If you aren't already subscribed, please do so. Please hit that subscribe button, because I've got a lot more cool stuff coming on the way. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I'll be back. Like I said, I'll have a bunch of videos before then, but I'll do another weekly update, and hopefully we'll be even further along. I'm hoping I can start doing some catch up this weekend on the comic book and everything. So hopefully I'll be further along, but I'm more than halfway done. As far not the comic book is closing in to be finished, but as far as breaking things apart, the actual shading, the shading and tones, I'm halfway through with that. Once that's done, then I'm hoping the lettering and everything won't take too long, and we'll wrap this thing up and get this thing out, hopefully in November is what I'm shooting for. So thanks for watching, thanks for following, thanks for liking, thanks for commenting, and I'll see you guys later, and that is all.